The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Itsmrtaliaferro TV, how's everybody doing? All right, so here's a shocker. I didn't expect to get this out of Meek Mill's interview. I believe Meek Mill has the best interviews. I think because Meek Mill's name is tied to so much throughout the year, throughout the couple years, he doesn't do a lot of interviews. When Meek does interviews, they're quite the big deal, right? Meek Mill did an interview with Itsmrtaliaferro. I thought it was his best out of all the interviews that he did, and I really liked the Ebro interview as well. But the one he did with Itsmrtaliaferro was classic to me. Meek Mill was talking to Angie about everything. And one thing that came out of the interview was something that I guess it was in the back of Meek's mind, and he probably never had plans on speaking on this, but I thought it was pretty dope. He spoke on his relationship with 50 Cent. They've had their issues on social media. They've got into it in public forums. They've gotten into it over slow bucks. 50 doesn't really care for him. Of course, Rick Ross is the guy who put Meek Mill on officially. And you already know about the relationship between 50 Cent and Rick Ross, or lack thereof a relationship. So I thought this was quite interesting what Meek said about 50 when he ran into 50. This is what he said. Meek was like, I seen 50 one day. Believe it or not, 50's a serious situation in traffic. I'll explain that more in a second. He's like, 50 is not a lightweight in traffic. We had a conversation as men. We both from the streets. You know where this could lead to, is what Meek was saying to 50. He was like, I don't even know how we got to this point. And then Meek went on later in the interview with Itsmrtaliaferro to say, unfortunately, Rick Ross is who put me on. I'd have to tell 50 that. If I was on your team, 50, it would be the same way. Then Meek later on, he said, that was 9 months ago. You might see us out in public smiling. He's talking about him and 50. And y'all might think it's pretty much some issues. I'm paraphrasing here. But we might just be smiling out in public because we squashed that thing 9 months ago. Do I think Meek and 50 Cent could ever make music together? Hell no. I think it's disrespectful to Rick Ross. I don't think that thing needs to get any further than what it was. You said we've talked enough so we can move in the same forums and get money. That's it. We don't got to do nothing else. We could be on the same builds. We could be on the same venue at the same day. That's it. That's all this meant. Nothing more, nothing less. And I respect it, man. And I respect Meek not feeling like he has to go to the internet to discuss this as soon as it happened. He kind of organically let it happen in a conversation with Angie, and he didn't feel like he had to talk about this as soon as it happened. I respect Meek for that. You know, Meek always says the right things in interviews. It's just his actions are kind of the opposite in real life or on social media. And we all deal with that, right? We all deal with a little bit of a contradiction in ourselves. I thought this is good. This is good. Nobody needs to die over this hip hop stuff, right? Rick Ross, I don't believe he would have did that though with somebody that Meek was beefing with. As a matter of fact, Ross, if I'm not mistaken, he won't talk to Drake right now, and he'll talk to Jay Prince, but he will talk to Jazz. But I don't think Ross and Drake have any sort of a communication right now. Maybe Ross and Drake don't move in the same spaces often. I know they have one mutual friend in Lil Wayne. Maybe they don't move in the same spaces. So I don't know. Ross might have handled this situation a little differently. I know Ross did try to get Drake and Meek in the same room. But you can't get mad at Meek for just ending and squashing something with 50 that could have went to a whole nother level, as you've seen in the quotes. Meek was like, you know where this could go. You already know we two street dudes. How you rock, how I rock, my people around me is tension, right? And I get it. Because 50 talks a lot of smack online, and I think it pisses people off because they'll see him out in public. And 50's a good, genuine dude, and he's usually trying to squash it out in public. But on social media, he's a jokester. He's New York, right? He's just a New York nigga at heart. And I think people take him more serious than 50 actually takes himself on social media. And I think people be ready to get at him when they see him out in public. And it looks like Meek and 50 ran into each other. And they was like, whoa, we don't need to have this go any further. Like, your beef with Ross is your beef with Ross. I'm not saying I gotta like you. I'm not saying I gotta love you. But we need to squash and chill out. And if we want to laugh in the near future, I think that might be doing a little too much. But he was like, if we want to laugh out in public, and when we see each other, maybe we can. That might be a little bit much. Ross is your CEO. He is the guy that really took a chance on Meek. I'm not saying Meek wouldn't be the successful superstar that he is without Ross. I'm just saying Ross is the one that put the bread up for Meek. and gave him that deal and rocked with Meek when a lot of people wasn't rocking with Meek, right? What do you think about this situation? You respect that Meek Mill and 50 Cent ended their beef or whatever it was, their little issues or differences? And do you think Meek should have ended that drama because of his relationship with Ross and how Ross and 50 and Ross have taken it to every level of disrespect without killing each other? It feels like that you could. You talking about 50 talking to Ross's baby mama about shit. It's been definitely at a bad spot for a while now, right? Do you think Meek should have ended the beef with 50? Or should he been about that action when he seen 50 in person? Talk to me in the comment box below. And what should 50 have done? Talk to me, comment box below. Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content like this. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on Itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty.